Hi, everybody, and welcome to LPS Media's production of Lawrence High School Wrestling. Tonight's meet features the Methuen Rangers coming to town to take on the Lawrence Lancers in a Merrimack Valley Conference dual meet matchup. Should be an exciting one tonight. Coach Rob Niceforo, veteran Lancer leader, leads his team tonight into an outstanding dual meet against the Methuen Rangers. Methuen comes in with a record of 18-3. Lawrence stands at 21-8. We'll have a lot of exciting matchups coming up next on LPS Media's production of Lancer Wrestling.
Estamos orgullosos de presentarles nuestra nueva pequeña biblioteca y gratis. Este es un regalo para ustedes de parte del PTO de la Escuela Breen. La comunidad de South Lawrence ahora tiene una oportunidad para poder liberar sus pensamientos y tomar un momento breve para celebrar la lectura y leer con sus hijos o llevarse unos libros a la casa. Por favor, tome tiempo para usted y sus hijos y visiten nuestra pequeña biblioteca. Leer es una aventura.
And we're back here on LPS Media for tonight's dual meet in Merrimack Valley Conference Wrestling between the visiting Methuen Rangers and your own Lawrence Lancers. Tonight's meet should be a good one. Both of these teams are quite strong. Methuen enters with a record of 18-3. Lawrence stands at 21-8. Captains out for the pre-meet coin toss. Methuen captain is C.J. Brown. Lawrence captains Louis Mauricio and John Vasquez. Looks like Methuen has won the toss. Because Methuen won the toss, they get to choose choice in each weight class. They'll decide if they want odds or evens. We'll begin tonight's dual meet at the 170-pound weight class. It's done by random draw after the weigh-in. And the random draw tonight was 170, so that will be the first matchup of 14 matches in tonight's dual meet. The expected starter for Lawrence is Angel Miranda at 170, and for Methuen, their star captain, C.J. Brown, expected to take the mat in just a moment. Thanks again for watching LPS Media, your home for Lawrence Lancer Athletics. Tonight's match is being broadcast live on Comcast Channel 99, Verizon Channel 41, and on YouTube. LPS Media broadcasts 24 hours a day covering events at all of the wonderful Lawrence public schools. 170 pounds. We are underway here at Lawrence High School. C.J. Brown taking on Angel Miranda. First period. Wrestling match has 3 periods, each 2 minutes long. If there is a pin, it will end the match immediately. If there is no pin, then at the end of the 6 minutes, you'll get a winner on points. Miranda in on the single leg shot. Has it up in the air. Brown counters with a whizzer and then hits the high crotch for a takedown and has the Lawrence Lancer in trouble. And on his back, that's a tight half Nelson with a far wrist. Miranda fights off the pin. That's a good fight off the back. But Brown now leads this one. Should be 5-0 at this point. Referee hasn't put up the 3-point near fall. And we're out of bounds. 55 seconds remaining here in the first period. No indication of the near fall, so our score remains 2-0. Brown riding with a tight near wrist, but Miranda gets the reversal. Brown got himself out of position. We're tied up at 2, but just temporarily. Brown resets, puts Miranda on his back. Doesn't have a particularly tight pinning combination, but he's resetting with a half now. 2 near fall in that situation, brings our score to 6-2. Brown has Miranda on his back again. We are under 20 seconds left in the first period. And that will do it. Methuen C.J. Brown gets the fall at 1 minute and 47 seconds. That records 16 points for the pin. Methuen Rangers take the early lead here, 6-0 in the team score. And brings us to the 182-pound weight class. Anthony Romano, the expected starter for Methuen. Freddie Callazzo expected for Lawrence, but Lawrence has not put their wrestler on the mat yet. And we're underway here at 182. Both wrestlers active, changing levels. Both wrestlers working wrists, but no serious offensive attempts as of yet. Lawrence with the front headlock. Switches front headlock to an underhook position, does not score off it. We're back to neutral. 1 minute remaining in the first period. Methuen enters tonight's matchup ranked number 24 in the state with their 18-3 record, 5-3 in the Merrimack Valley Conference. Lawrence at 21-8. Romano puts the Lancer wrestler on his back for 2 and 2. 2-point takedown, 2 near falls, 4-0. Keeps him in bounds. Looking to get the breakdown in the fall. But the wrestlers are out of bounds. 21 seconds remaining here in the first period. Romano leads 4-0. Tight wrist ride. Probably looking to stall out these last 10 seconds of the first period. The Methuen Ranger leading 4-0. Probably happy with the results of that first period. Start of the second period, it's Methuen's choice. Methuen will defer. And Lawrence chooses neutral to start the second period. 2 minutes into this match. We'll have 2 minutes in the second period, 2 minutes in the third, unless there's a pin, which will end the match immediately. 4-0 Methuen at this point. Shot attempt by Methuen. Good sprawl by Lawrence. He's got the front headlock. But Methuen back to his feet, and once again, same situation as the first period. Lawrence unable to score off the front head. Lawrence has yet to make an offensive attempt. Could be in a situation where he gets called for stalling, as Methuen has made the offensive attempt so far. Nice deep shot. The double. Methuen able to finish and leads now 6-0. That shot set up by level change created an opening. .20 seconds now remaining in the second period. Lawrence wrestler lost his headgear, but the ref's going to let that one go. We tick off the final seconds of the second period. 6-0 entering the third. It'll be Methuen choice. They had deferred in the first, and they'll take down. 6-0 margin. If it ends like this, that'll be 3 team points for Methuen. If they can get it to an 8-point margin, that'll be a major decision worth 4 team points. Veteran Methuen coach Bill James in the corner. Lawrence Lancer coach Rob Niceforo. Both of these coaches outstanding at what they do, great leaders of their teams. Quick reversal there by Methuen. It's now 8-0. Referee checking to see if Methuen's locking hands. It's not there. Methuen wrestler has Lawrence in trouble now. There's near fall points. Lawrence doing a good job fighting off his back. There's a lot of time left in this match, though. It's going to be tough to get out of. Methuen readjusts. And there's the fall. Methuen gets their second straight pin, this one at 4 minutes, 48 seconds. Another 16 points for the Rangers. They now lead 12-0 after the 182-pound weight class. Next up will be 195. Projected starter for Lawrence is Eric Sanchez. It's Elias Concepcion for Methuen. Rangers lead now 12-0 after 2 weight classes. You know, folks, LPS Media broadcasts 24 hours a day covering events all over the Lawrence Public Schools, including LHS Sports, theatrical productions, school news from around the district. Check out the Lawrence Public Schools YouTube channel to watch LPS Media all day, every day on any device. Get the app or open up your favorite browser. You can watch over 1,000 videos from the last 8 years. LPS Media will be broadcasting the Lancer girls basketball team as they take on Chelmsford Tuesday, February 11th at 7 p.m. And LPS Media will be covering the Lancer boys basketball team as they enter the state playoffs. We're at 195 pounds here in this Merrimack Valley Conference Wrestling dual meet matchup between the visiting Methuen Rangers and the Lawrence Lancers. Eric Sanchez for the Lawrence Lancers, Elias Concepcion for the Rangers. Not a lot of action so far here in the first period. Both wrestlers feeling each other out, testing each other's strengths and weaknesses, working out of the collar tie position. Both staying in good tight stances, not a lot of openings for their opponent to attack. Both wrestlers seem to be looking for a throw or front headlock situation. It's the end of the first period. No score. Lawrence choice to start the second period. Lawrence coach Niceforo instructs his wrestler to take down here in the second period. Probably hoping that his wrestler can stand up and get out. Correction, it's Freddie Callazzo, the Lawrence wrestler. Apologies to Freddie, been calling him Eric Sanchez, his teammate's name. Collazo earns the stand-up escape. It's 1-0. And we'll have an injury timeout. Doesn't appear to be a serious injury. Should be a quick recovery. Each wrestler gets 90 seconds of injury time. We only used maybe 20, 30 seconds there. Action back underway. Methuen wrestler Concepcion, a little more aggressive coming out of the timeout there. He received instructions from Coach James during the break. Working the head. Collazo sporting the Puerto Rican flag on his headgear. It's outstanding. Collazo hits the headlock. Looking to finish the head throw for the pin. He's got Concepcion on his back. Pulling that elbow up. Concepcion doing a good job fighting off his back. But there's a lot of time left in this period. I don't think Concepcion saw that one coming. Collazo found a moment of weakness, was able to hit the head throw, and there's the fall. Three minutes, 28 seconds, the time of the pin. Freddie Collazo, your winner, puts the Lawrence Lancers on the board. 12-6 now the team score. Methuen Rangers still leading. We're now at the 220-pound weight class. Our fourth match out of 14 tonight. Jay Ramos, the Methuen wrestler, Jose Reyes for Lawrence. Reyes out aggressively. Gets to a rear standing position, uses a mat return for a takedown. Attempting to ride legs now. Ramos countering the legs, has that ankle. Ramos counters the legs beautifully. Gets the reversal. 2-2 now. Reyes back to his feet. 3-2 lead. A very active 30 seconds. This may be Eric Sanchez wrestling for the Lawrence Lancers, moving up from his usual 195-pound class to 220. A wrestler may wrestle up one weight class from what they weigh in at. And in a wrestling dual meet, coaches will mix and match their wrestlers, bump one wrestler up, hold another wrestler out to try and get the best matchups. Give their team the best chance to win. Sanchez hits the trip. Puts Ramos on his back. And there's the fall. Minute and 41 seconds in. And we are all tied up, 12-12 after 4 matches. Perhaps a bit of an early surprise here. Methuen favored in the upper weights. Lawrence Lancers hanging in there so far. We're at the 285-pound weight class, the heavyweight division. Corey Bard checks in first for the Rangers. Joel Barreto is the Lawrence Lancer wrestler. Both wrestlers pummeling for position. Bard with the single, but they're out of bounds, no score. Active and aggressive heavyweights in the first 18 seconds of this match. Both these teams solid, top to bottom. Good wrestlers in every weight class. Had a number of JV matches before the varsity dual meet. Some wrestling teams around the state have been struggling with numbers. But Methuen and Lawrence both with full lineups. And tough wrestlers up and down that lineup. One minute to go here in the first period. We are still scoreless. Final seconds here in the first period. No serious offensive attempt by either wrestler, but a lot of pummeling. Both wrestlers figuring out where each other's strengths and weaknesses are. Trying to find that moment where their opponent's out of position and they can hit the big throw. Lawrence's choice in this match, and Lawrence will choose bottom, hoping to score that early escape point and take an early lead. Doing so gives you an early lead, and also, if you look ahead to the ultimate tiebreaker, should this match go into overtime, the wrestler who scores first gets choice in the ultimate tiebreaker position. So a lot of wrestlers will want to get that early score, give themselves an advantage should it go that far. Corey Baird here running a half Nelson. Barreto fighting off the half, but Baird has it in pretty deep. And Baird has Barreto on his back. Barreto doing a nice job fighting, staying tough. But Baird is repositioning, and it may be tough for Barreto to get out of this one. Referee jumps from one side to the other to get in position to see if there is a pin. The athlete's scapula must be in contact with the mat for 2 full seconds to earn a fall. So instantaneous touch will not be a pin, but if you can hold him there for 2 seconds, it's a pin. Barreto doing a tremendous job of fighting off this pin. Still 45 seconds remaining here in the second period. It's a long time to fight. And there's the pin. Corey Baird with the fall for the Methuen Rangers. Time of this pin, 3 minutes, 19 seconds. 6 more points for the Methuen Rangers, and they take an 18-12 lead. We wrap around now from the heavyweights to the 106-pound division. Random draw tonight started us off at 170. So we've had 170, 182, 195, 220, and 285. Now 106. Lawrence's senior captain, Luis Mauricio, takes the mat. Lawrence in on the shot, and the low single. That low single is a staple of Coach Niceforo's career. Unable to finish it, turns the single into double, back to a single. Methuen doing a great job fighting this one off. Lawrence is back up 106 in this match. Nice forearm. Must be thinking that he can try and get the win here. Maybe move Mauricio up. Has him on his back. In the head throw finish position. Lawrence arching back, trying to get the fall. Methuen tries the re-roll. Gets out of the near fall position, out of the pinning position, but 3 points near fall now gives Lawrence a 5-0 lead. And then Methuen comes right back, puts Lawrence on his back. The referee rules that exchange a loss of control, not a reversal. So we are back to neutral. Lawrence leads 5-1. Wrestlers on their feet with 23 seconds remaining in the first period. Lawrence in on the shot. Oh, tremendous shot and tremendous finish. Caught the Methuen wrestler standing up out of position and took advantage with a great double shot. Lawrence still technically in control. Methuen fighting for the reversal. Won't get it here in the first period. So the end of the first period, it's 7-1 Lawrence. Lawrence defers the choice. Methuen will take bottom. Lawrence indicates to the referee optional start. Sometimes this will be to let the wrestler go and work on the feet, and sometimes it will be to attempt a big move like that. Lawrence wrestler came around the front to a front headlock position, then tried a side cradle. Neither one worked, so then he just spun behind again. Remains on top in control, 7-1 Lawrence. Has the Western ride in and attempting a three-quarter stack here, but he's on his left hip, so not really in position. Recovers position, still trying that three-quarter stack with the Western hook in, but Methuen's having none of it. No points scored in that exchange. And Methuen earns the stand-up escape. It's now 7-2. We're about halfway through the second period. Lawrence in on that deep double shot again. Could probably hit that all night long. 2 takedown Lawrence. It's 9-2. Referee blows the whistle. It's a full Nelson call against Lawrence. Illegal move. 1 point penalty. That brings our score to 9-3. Methuen is still down. Indication that Lawrence might be bleeding. A little blood, so we'll have a brief timeout to take care of that. Looks like a bloody nose. We'll take this opportunity to remind you to check out the Lawrence Public Schools YouTube channel. Get the app or open up your browser to watch our videos. We have over 1,000 videos from the last 8 years of events all over the Lawrence Public Schools. Currently featured the Frost Middle School Honor Society induction ceremony. Spark Academy students were entertained by the Kumbah Singers of Harvard University, and LHS boys basketball defeated the North Andover Scarlet Knights on January 28th. Remember, you can check out all those videos as well as previous sports games, concerts, and theatrical performances on the LPS Media YouTube channel. The wrestling dual meet season is nearing its end. After tonight, there's about a week and a half remaining of the dual meet season. This Saturday, the Lawrence Lancers will compete at Franklin. Methuen Rangers will host Lexington. As both teams gear up for the postseason, wrestling's second season. Methuen Rangers this year will serve as the hosts for the state tournament, all-state tournament, and New England tournament. So Merrimack Valley Conference fans won't have far to go to check out the best wrestling in the state and New England over the next few weeks. Both these teams, the number of stars who will be looking to make some noise in the postseason. Luis Mauricio currently ranked number 5 in the state at 106 pounds for Lawrence, and Eric Sanchez ranked 4th at 195. C.J. Brown, Methuen star, 170-pounder, ranked number 9 in the state. My suspicion is that you'll see a few other wrestlers from both of these teams make some noise as we move into the postseason. All right, we're ready to resume action here in the second period. Lawrence leading 9-3 in this match. Methuen leading overall 18-12. 106-pound weight class. Active Granby attempt by Methuen doesn't score, but it creates enough separation where he can get to his feet. Turns in, still fighting for the escape. Lawrence still in control here. Essentially a takedown situation, but Lawrence still in control. The whistle blows again. Again, a timeout for a bloody nose. All too common in the sport of wrestling, particularly in the winter. Wrestlers get their noses banged a lot, and also with the dry air, makes those membranes a little more vulnerable. It's been once again an exciting year in the Merrimack Valley Conference in wrestling. Year after year, one of the best conferences in the state. Lawrence Lancer's always near the top. Methuen Rangers always near the top. Central Catholic, perennially tough. And the Haverhill Hillies have been outstanding in recent years. Methuen was able to knock off the Hillies back on January 22nd, 42-39, an outstanding dual meet. Lawrence Lancers most recently earned a big win over North Andover, defeating the Scarlet Knights last Wednesday, 43-18, and then the following night knocked off Greater Lawrence, 48-24. As we wait for this blood timeout here at 106 pounds, I want to remind you that the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association is committed to the welfare of student athletes throughout the Commonwealth and to fairness of competition among its member schools. More than 200,000 students from 360 member schools will participate in interscholastic athletics during this academic year. Thousands of these girls and boys enjoy additional educational experiences by qualifying for championships in the 33 different sports sponsored by the MIAA. The meet you are watching is a culmination of these activities. On behalf of high school students across the Commonwealth, the MIAA thanks you for your support of their educational programs. We've got ourselves a dual meet underway here. Methuen Rangers leading the Lawrence Lancers 18-12. But it's the lighter weight classes where Lawrence is particularly strong. You'd have to rate the Rangers as a slight favorite coming in tonight on paper, but wrestling meets aren't decided on paper, they're decided on the mat. Particularly in the midst of flu season and tough academic demands. Who's healthy? Who's got a sprained ankle tonight? Every night in MVC wrestling is a chance for someone else to excel. And the outcomes are often in doubt. I'd like to thank our broadcast team tonight here on LPS Media. Our producer is Luis Lopez. And our student crew, Ryan Baralt, Joanette Placencia, and Leah Rosario. finest team in the MVC. Sending best wishes to Jay Oza, LPS Media regular broadcaster, feeling under the weather tonight, unable to be with us. Watching this meet at home. Jay, if you're there and you're listening, get better soon. And we'll see you back on the sidelines for the next LPS Media broadcast this coming Tuesday, February 11th, as the Lawrence Lancer girls basketball team takes on the Chelmsford Lions. That game will be at 7 p.m. And if you're able to catch it live, that's great. And if you're not, you can catch it on the LPS Media YouTube channel. Still working on cleaning up the Lancer wrestler. Blood time has ended, so they've controlled the bleeding. But you get a few extra seconds to clean up the wrestler and make sure he's ready to go and make sure the mat is clean and everything's done in a sanitary way. But it looks like we're ready to resume this 106-pound matchup. Lawrence leading 9-3. Methuen on bottom. Midway through the second period. After a break like that, both wrestlers got to get their energy back up. And we are back underway. And these wrestlers are right back at it. The Lancer with the cross wrist ride, and he's got a leg in. Double boots in. With both legs in, has the Methuen wrestler flattened out. Looking to dig in a half Nelson. Loses the leg ride a little bit. And that's the end of the second period. We move to the third period. Lawrence leading 9-3. It's Methuen's choice. And Methuen has chosen the top position to start the third period. Wrestlers are able to choose top, bottom, or neutral. And the Methuen wrestler, trailing in this one by 6 points, has picked top, probably hoping to turn the Lawrence wrestler to his back and get near fall points of the pin. But didn't work out. Lawrence gets back to his feet, scores one escape point. It's now 10-3, 12-3 now after a takedown. Referee has blown the whistle to stop. Methuen wrestler appeared a little startled after that takedown. The referee blowing the whistle to check on the health of the Methuen wrestler. Number one job of the referee in a wrestling meet is to ensure the health and safety of the wrestlers. Referees are obligated to blow the whistle whenever they're concerned about the health of a wrestler. And in this case, going to ask the trainer to come out, check, and make sure the Methuen wrestler's okay. The sport of wrestling has taken a particular interest in protecting wrestlers from concussions in recent years. There is a protocol if a wrestler is suspected of having sustained a traumatic brain injury, TBI, which is what we've renamed concussions now. And so the referee is obligated to blow that whistle and then ask the trainer to evaluate the athlete to make sure the athlete's okay. I want to thank you once again for joining us tonight here on LPS Media for tonight's Merrimack Valley Conference Wrestling Meet here at Lawrence High School. At the visiting Methuen Rangers taking on the Lawrence Lancers. So, trainers checked out the Methuen wrestler, appears to be okay. Always a good idea to make sure. We're in the third period. Lawrence leading 12-3 in this particular matchup. Methuen leads the overall score 18-12 right now. Referee has awarded a caution against Lawrence for a false start, but it takes 3 cautions before it's a point. Both wrestlers just eager to get this match resumed. Minute and 20 seconds remaining here in the third period. Lawrence on top, running that half Nelson. Methuen countering with the leg up. Minute to go here in the third period. Lawrence leading 12-3. If the match were to end right now, it'd be a major decision for Lawrence at 14 points, but the Lawrence coaches are exhorting their wrestler to go for the pin, which would be worth 16 points. There's the Weston hook and the 3/4 Nelson stack. That's a staple of Coach Niceforo's technique. It earns 2 near fall points, bringing our score to 14-3. Now the Lawrence wrestler with a half and a wrist, and he'll get the fall. Time of the pin, 5 minutes, 32 seconds. And that will tie up our dual meet at 18-18 after 6 matches. Move us to the 113-pound weight class. Lawrence sends out their star, Louis Mauricio, and Methuen coach Bill James chooses to forfeit that match. Interesting choice by Methuen, not taking on the Lancer star. That awards the Lawrence Lancers 16 points. Lawrence now leads this dual meet 24-18, and we move to the 120-pound weight class. Lawrence sends out Jacob Zapata at 120 pounds. Lawrence coach Rob Niceforo bumping up several of his wrestlers. Moving them up 1 weight class in an attempt to gain advantage. Part of that strategy caused Methuen coach Bill James to forfeit that 113-pound weight class. At 120 now, Zapata. Front headlock position. Back to an elbow tie. He's in on the inside single. Methuen countering with a tight whizzer. And the fight is on. Zapata turning the single into a double on the edge of the mat, but they're out of bounds. Great counter by Methuen. Methuen wrestler is Michael Crow, their usual 113-pounder. He bumped up away from Louis Mauricio here to 120, so Crow's giving up a little bit of weight, but he's a very good wrestler. Zapata, a good tough 120-pounder, so. This matchup pretty exciting. Crow completes that scramble position for a takedown and leads 2-0. Zapata on bottom now looking for hand control. Crow looking for a bar. Lawrence coach Niceforo urging his wrestler to get out of bounds to look for a fresh start. It's the end of the first period. Michael Crow, Methuen leading 2-0 here on this 120-pound matchup. Methuen choice to start the second period. They defer. Lawrence will choose after Methuen defers. And Coach Niceforo tells his wrestler to pick the neutral position, hoping that he can get a takedown and even up this match at 2-2. Second period, 2-0. Crow leads for Methuen. Zapata motion on his feet, maintaining a low, tight, low stance. Trying to head snap. Crow now controls the head position. Zapata takes a shot, isn't able to finish. Crow reshot in on the single. Trying to work his way behind. Zapata countering with a quarter Nelson, but doesn't have the right position to finish it. Crow now behind, but Zapata still has the Nelson in. So it wasn't a takedown until that moment when Zapata lost the Nelson. Crow behind, 2-point takedown, 4-0 now. Crow leads. Crow riding tight. Tight hip ride, looking to dig in the arm bar. Jacob Zapata trying to move on bottom, but Michael Crow with a tight hip ride, not giving him a lot of space to do it. Crow trying to dig in that arm bar and far wrist to set up a pinning combination. Zapata able to stave that off, but isn't able to mount an attempt to get out off bottom himself. Wrestlers go out of bounds, 10 seconds remaining here in the second period. Crow leads 4-0. Coach Niceforo would like his wrestler to get to his feet and earn a 1-point escape in these last 10 seconds of the period. Zapata attempts a switch, but Crow countered it by catching the arm. And this period will end 4-0. We head to the third period, Methuen's choice. And Methuen takes bottom. 2 minutes remaining in this match, third period. Michael Crow in good position, leading 4-0 over Jacob Zapata. But this match is far from over. Zapata riding with a tight waist and near arm chop. Nice mat return, but Crow right back to his feet again. Crow looking for hand control, trying to earn the escape. Zapata hanging on to him. Looking for a lift, perhaps, for a mat return. But Crow fighting for hand control. Crow still technically in control on top. Crow just warned for stalling because he did not make a serious attempt to bring his opponent back to the mat. Crow earns the escape anyway. It's 5-0 now for the Methuen wrestler. Minute and 15 remaining in the third period. Zapata trying to figure out how to break through Crow's defenses and get off a shot here. Crow tying up Zapata's head, not allowing the Lawrence wrestler to get in a clean shot. Crow changes levels, in on a single leg shot. Zapata countering. A lot of action there, but no scoring. Wrestlers remain neutral. Coach Niceforo exhorting his wrestler to make a throw attempt because Methuen leads 5-0 and there are 30 seconds left. Lawrence is going to need a big move here. Zapata will have to throw Crow to his back to try and win this match. Zapata attempting a headlock, doesn't really have position for it. Crow is able to counter that headlock attempt for a takedown, another 2 points. It's now 7-0. Crow was looking to put the Lawrence wrestler on his back, maybe to get some near fall and turn a minor decision into a major, but that's the end of the match. Michael Crow defeats Jacob Zapata by the score of 7-0. Brings your team score to 24-21 Methuen. 8 matches in, 6 matches remaining, 126-pound weight class up now. Lawrence sends out Davidson Diosme. Methuen counters with Adam Rader. Diomzi bumping up from his usual 120-pound weight class up here to 126 as Coach Niceforo continues to bump his usual starters up one weight class, looking to get the best matchups. Diomzi also an outstanding football player. Early action here at 126 pounds. Both wrestlers showing good motion on their feet. Diomzi with a level change shot, but a nice deep sprawl by Rader. Diomzi able to pull the leg in, but Rader fights it off. Nice deep shot by Diomzi, but Rader with long legs and a nice sprawl able to counter it. No score, 1 minute remaining here in the first period at 126 pounds. Rader on a low ankle shot. Diomzi countering. Rader able to finish it for the takedown. 2-0, Rader. Rader with that cross wrist ride, looking to dig in an arm bar with the cross wrist, which he can either use for a tilt for near fall or run it around for a pinning attempt. And he's going to run it for an attempted pin. Digs in the bar. Diomzi able to get the right leg up, countering it with his hip down. Rader running that bar. Has Diomzi in trouble, but that's the end of the first period. Rader was not able to put Diomzi on his back for near fall points, so first period ends 2-0. Lawrence had the choice. They're electing to defer their choice to the third period. So Methuen will take bottom. Adam Rader on bottom, Davidson Diomzi on top, 2-0. Rader leading. Start of the second period here at 126 pounds. Rader with the quick stand-up escape. It's 3-0 now for the Methuen wrestler. Both wrestlers moving, a lot of motion on the feet. Both wrestlers have executed single leg attempts off of level changes. Neither wrestler choosing to lock up or tie up or work upper body moves. Both working in space. And there's a level change shot by Rader. Nice clean shot, and he finishes it for the takedown. 5-0 now for Adam Rader, the Methuen wrestler. Hit on a wrist ride. Diomzi working for hand control. Diomzi gets hand control, but unable to get his hips free for a stand-up attempt. Rader riding tight hips. Rader doing a nice job working both sides of the body, but he's remaining behind the Lawrence wrestler. Sometimes you'll see a stall call from the referee in that situation if the top wrestler doesn't come out to the side. But the referee choosing to let this action continue as Rader is working for wrist rides on top. Final seconds here in the second period. After 2 periods of wrestling, Adam Rader leads Davidson Diamzi 5-0. Lawrence Choice in the 3rd period. And Coach Niceforo instructs his wrestler to take the neutral position, standing, thinking that Diamzi's best chance to win this match is to be able to take his opponent down. Diamzi did get in a good deep shot in the 1st period, nearly scored with it, but has been unable to mount an effective scoring attempt since. Adam Rader, the Methuen wrestler, leads this one 5-0. Seems content to just continue to move on the feet, let the clock run. Diamzi in on a shot. Wasn't quite as deep as the 1st period. It was a shot he executed in the 1st period, and Rader able to counter it, turning it into a takedown attempt of his own. Excuse me. But the wrestlers go out of bounds. No scoring. They come back to the middle. 1:11 remaining in the 3rd period. Five to 0, Rader leads. Under a minute now. Pressure's really on the Lawrence wrestler to make some offensive attempts. But there's another level change shot by Rader. Completes it on the edge of the mat for a 2-point takedown. Brings our score to 7-0. 35 seconds remaining. Davidson Diamzi on bottom. He'll need a big move to get back into this match. He trails 7-0 now, 30 seconds remaining. Adam Rader on top might be thinking about trying to get some near fall points and turn this minor decision into a major decision. If he can extend the lead to at least 8 points, that's a major decision worth 4 points for his team instead of 3. Diamzi gets back to his feet. That's an escape point. 7-1 now. Methuen leads under 10 seconds remaining. And that's how it will end. Adam Rader earns a 7-1 decision over Davidson Diamzi. 3 team points for Methuen. And our dual meet is now tied up once again, 24-24, with 5 matches remaining. We move to the 132-pound weight class. Alex Che steps out for the Lawrence Lancers. Che weighed in at 126 today. He's bumping up to 132. So far, it seems Coach Niceforo's strategy of moving his wrestlers up is working. We're tied 24-24 with 5 matches to go. His meet a long way from being decided. Methuen came in as the slight favorites, but don't be surprised if the Lawrence Lancers pull off the minor upset here. Both these teams tough and strong and well seasoned. Both wrestlers here working wrists. Not much motion on the feet. Little tap shot there by the Methuen wrestler. Xavier Cordero, the Methuen wrestler. He's their usual starter at 132. Che in a front headlock position. But unable to finish that. And Xavier Cordero are able to scramble back to the feet. Wrestler's a little physically different. Cordero quite tall. Chai a little lower in his stance. And there's a nice deep shot double leg shot he turns into a single shot, but Cordero with a deep sprawl uses the ankle to flatten out Che. But no scoring off that situation. At the end of the first period, we remain tied 0-0. Methuen takes down to start the second period. Lawrence coach is trying to decide whether to just put the Methuen wrestler on his feet, give him the escape point, and work neutral. They decide to leave Che on top so he can work for a breakdown, turn, look to get near fall points or possibly the pin. The risk there is that you run the risk of the bottom wrestler getting a reversal on him. Lawrence still in control in this situation. Out in front headlock position. Looking to put the Methuen wrestler on his back. Methuen wrestler being cautious. Backing up, Lawrence with an underhook here. Che with the underhook, and he gets the turn to the back. This will be near fall at least. Methuen with the re-roll, a spectacular re-roll, puts Lawrence on his back. Stunning turn of events just when we thought Alex Chai might finish the pin. Xavier Cordero with an unbelievable re-roll has Chai in trouble. Switching off to a half Nelson here. Scoring here a bit complicated. Should be 3 near fall points for Lawrence, 2 reversal and 3 near fall for Methuen. But if this one ends in a pin, then it's all over. Forget about it. Xavier Cordero running the half Nelson now, looking for a pin. Won't get it. Chai back to his belly, the final seconds here in the second period. Coach is conferring with the referee to make sure we have the scoring correct on that wild scramble. Alex Chai had the Methuen wrestler on his back. Nearly pinned him before the reversal to the back by Xavier Cordero of Methuen. Referee and the coaches sorting out the scoring there. Yeah, it is 5-3 Methuen leading after 2 periods. So the scoring in the second period, Alex Chai put Cordero on his back for 3 near fall points, but then Cordero reversed him for 2 and put Chai on his back for 3. So we go to the third period here in this entertaining 132-pound match. Methuen leading 5-3. Lawrence takes neutral, trailing by 2. Alex Chai looking for positioning to get off a shot for a takedown, try and tie this one up as he trails by 2. Here at 132 pounds, both wrestlers now tying up, something they weren't doing in the first period when they were both working in space. At this point in the match, the wrestlers choosing a different strategy. Alex Chai looking to arm drag or perhaps a Russian 2-on-1. Cordero with the front headlock. Chai countering it, gets his head up, and Chai hits a headlock. Cordero re-rolls, but we're out of bounds. No scoring there. 1:07 remaining. Cordero of Methuen leading this one 5-3. Alex Chai of Lawrence looking for the tying takedown. Wrestlers pummeling in the neutral position. Neither wrestler seeing an opening. Pressure's on Alex Chai here now. He trails by 2 points with 35 seconds remaining in the match. Dives in on a single leg shot, gets overextended there. Can he pull this single leg in? Drives in, drives in, drives in. The wrestlers go out of bounds. 25 seconds remaining. Chai needs to get the 2-point takedown to tie this match up, or else it'll be another victory for Methuen. Chai driving in on another shot. He's in on a double leg shot. They almost went out of bounds, but Chai circled to keep them in bounds. Cordero with the sprawl stuffing the head. Cordero spins behind and he scores 2. That brings the score to 7-3. Final seconds of this match are ticking away. And that's how it will end. Xavier Cordero earns a 7-3 victory for the Methuen Rangers. And the Rangers take a 27-24 lead in the team score. 4 matches remaining in this entertaining and tight dual meet. 138 pounds now. John Vasquez, Lawrence captain, steps out for the Lancers. Methuen sends out Corey Ciccarelli to take on the Lawrence captain. Ciccarelli gamely shoots in. You got to figure Vasquez is the favorite here. But Ciccarelli does not seem to be intimidated. He came right out and took a shot. Vasquez has countered, scored the takedown. 2 points for Lawrence. Vasquez leads 2-0. Vasquez working that crossface series. Now switches off to a spiral ride. Ciccarelli remaining active on bottom, fighting to his base. Not making it easy for Vasquez. Vasquez now with a side cradle. Has it locked up. Ciccarelli countering. Vasquez with his head in the side, looking to bend up Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli remaining core strong, but Vasquez has a tight lock on that cradle. Now looking to Turk the other leg. Ciccarelli's arm's in an awkward position. I wouldn't be surprised to see the referee blow the whistle here. Vasquez able to flip the cradle over that and get the fall. Minute and 27 seconds on the pin as the Lawrence captain gets it done. 16 points for the Lawrence Lancers, who now lead this one 30-27 as we move to the 145-pound weight class. Just 3 matches remaining. Joe Ganji, the Methuen wrestler here. Ganji bumped up from 138 to 145, avoiding John Vasquez. And Ganji gets the quick pin here over the Lawrence wrestler in just 23 seconds. That gives Methuen the lead 33-30. 2 matches remaining, 152 and 160 is all that's left on the board. This one's still not decided. Methuen now leads 33-30. 2 matches remaining, so Methuen can afford a split here. Tom DeMaio, the Methuen wrestler here. DeMaio in on a low shot. I believe that's Isaiah David for the Lawrence Lancers. DeMaio finishes the quick shot, now leads 2-0 here at 152 pounds. Methuen just needs to win one more match, really, to lock this one up. Lawrence will need to win the final 2 matches in order to guarantee their victory. DeMaio running a padlock series on top. Now switches off to an arm bar. 1 minute remaining here in the first period. 2-0 for the Methuen wrestler. He's got a cross wrist, tries a half Nelson. Lawrence wrestler countering. Methuen throws every move on top at him. Now it's a cross-face cradle attempt. But Lawrence wrestler keeps fighting it off. Showing good toughness here. Coach Niceforo would love to see his wrestler get out of this match without giving up the pin. A pin from Methuen would seal the dual meet. If Lawrence is able to fight off that pin and hold it to a minor decision, then the next weight class, 160, would decide the meet. Two to nothing the score here at the end of the first period at 152 pounds. Lawrence choice to start the second period. Coach Niceforo elects to defer that choice. Methuen will take bottom. Lawrence goes with the optional start. Nope, standard start on top. Lawrence wrestler being cautioned for an illegal starting position. Sometimes wrestlers will use a slightly different starting position, attempting to gain an advantage. Dom DeMaio with the quick reversal now leads 4-0. Mazias David on bottom now trails 4-0 for the Lawrence Lancers. DeMaio running a crossface series, looking for that crossface cradle, but David fighting it off. Coach Niceforo exhorting his wrestler, no backs, no backs. Meaning don't go to your back. DeMaio with that padlock series again, attempting to get the turn. Arching back, arching back. Mazias David able to fight it off for the moment. DeMaio now with an arm bar. Methuen coach is looking for the pin here that would seal the dual meet victory. DeMaio gets the turn, as Mazias David on his back. David fighting off this pin, keeping his shoulder up. A lot of time left in this one. It's going to be tough for Mazias David to stay off his back for this whole second period. And there's the fall. Dom DeMaio gets the pin at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. 16 points for the Methuen Rangers. That brings the team score to 39-30. So the Methuen Rangers will win this one tonight. We have one match remaining at 160 pounds. But Methuen now with a 9-point lead. There's no way that Lawrence can come back because the most you can get in any particular dual meet match is 16 points. But we have one match remaining, and it should be a good one. Hezekiah Lenore for the Lawrence Lancers at 160 pounds. Also an outstanding student academically and a tough wrestler. Hezekiah in on the quick double-leg shot, leads 2-0. He gets the crossface series. Attempted that corkscrew, couldn't quite get it. Now he's looking for a near side cradle. Very active and eager on top. Driving for that crossface now, looking for the crossface cradle. It isn't there. Wrestlers on their feet, but The Lawrence wrestler still in control. Never lost control. Back to the mat, and now he's got a half Nelson. Methuen wrestler gamely fighting off Hezekiah's offensive attempts on top. But now he's got that crossface and looking for the corkscrew again. Circling around, lifting that elbow, putting the Methuen wrestler on his back. Even though it appears like the wrestlers might be out of bounds, in fact, as long as the supporting points of one or more of them is inbounds, then they're both inbounds. Rule change came in a couple of years ago. And there's the fall at 1:35. Hezekiah Lenore gets the pin in our final match of the dual meet. 16 points for the Lawrence Lancers, and that brings your final score to 36-39. The Methuen Rangers take this one. They move to 19-3 on the season. The Lawrence Lancers fall to 21-9. Outstanding MVC dual meet once again between two competitive, tough teams who will surely both make a lot of noise in the postseason. So that'll do it for us here at LPS Media from Lawrence High School. My name is Richard Gorham. Our producer tonight was Luis Lopez. Our LPS Media crew, Ryan Barral, Joanette Placencia, and Leah Rosario. Thanks for joining us here on LPS Media. Check us out all day, every day on our YouTube channel. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.